Welcome back to our strategies on variables and expressions. So, when we left, we had a your turn that you had to evaluate. And so let's see your brilliancy so far. Evaluate each expression for m is equal to 3, n is equal to 2, and p is equal to 4. So the very first problem, or should I say expression that we had, was m times n. So you want to substitute 3 for m and 2 for n. So now you're multiplying 3 times 2 and you should have gotten 6. The second expression tells us that p is being subtracted, or p less n, p less than n. So again, you want to substitute 9 for p, that's what it tells us in the instructions, and 2 for n, and you will have 9 minus 2, which should be simplified to 7. And the last expression that you had to evaluate was p divided by m. So of course, again, substituting 9 for p, as the instructions ask us to do, and 3 for m, we divide 9 by 3 and simplify to 3. Okay, absolutely outstanding. So let's move on to a real world application. These are very, very important because for the most part, we're talking about a standardized test, and we know that standardized test is going to be, for the most part, real world application where we're going to have to be able to take sentences or groups of sentences and change those into not only mathematical terminology, but as well as solving that mathematical terminology. So here, approximately 85 20-ounce plastic bottles, those bottles that we use to have our water, must be recycled to produce a fiber field for a sleeping bag. We want to write an expression for the number of bottles needed to make S sleeping bags, and we want to find the number of bottles needed to make 20, 50, and 325 sleeping bags. Okay, so first thing we want to do is we want to think 85 times some number. So we can see that our actual expression will be 85s. 85s, that's the same as 85 times s. Now here's something I want you to get accustomed to. We want to create a table of values. So we want to create a table, and in this table we want to put under S, we want to put 20, 50, and 325, and then we'll substitute those numbers into our expression and see what answers we come up with. Okay, so let's create a table. Okay, now let's go ahead and do this part. Okay, so we can see that here the label is S, and we'll put our expression in this part, which is 85 times S. So we can see the first thing we want to evaluate is 20. So we're just simply going to, just like we did previously, we're going to substitute 20 for S. So we will have 85 times 20. And you just do your math. You can do it on the side. 85 times 20. That's going to give us 1700. So of course 1700 will be our first value. Then we'll substitute 50 for S, and then you're talking about 85 times 50. So again, let's do our math. So here we have 85 times 50. That will give us 4,250. Now, 325. So again, we're taking 85 times 325, and we can do this math over here. And we should get 27,625. That's 5 times 5, and then 5 times 2, 5 times 3, and then move over 8 times 5, and whatever, and we should get here 27,625. Okay, that's the way we do it. Real world situation, a real world application. Actually, you're still doing the exact same thing that we did in the assignments that we did, in the actual throughout the lesson. Here you're just taking a sentence, creating your expression, and evaluating your expression. If you notice, we've done everything that we've done in 1.1 with this one problem. We took a sentence, created an expression for the sentence, and then we also, after we came up with our expression, we evaluated with a group of values. So thank you so much, and we will see you soon.